Sorry, my bad. Yes, I'm back. Can someone quickly tell people on YouTube to go on the new stream? Because I couldn't go live on the previous stream. I had to make a new one. Yeah, my OBS crashed because I was moving my chat. I don't know what the fuck. That was shit. My bad. What were we talking about? I had to restart everything. What are we talking about, guys? I don't even remember. I don't even know because suddenly the alert popped up and I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? Yes, I am back. Please tell YouTube side as well. Is YouTube doing okay? Message just gotta let them know. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. YouTube side. Are we back to the days of crashing on OBS? Oh gods. Wait, let me fix the thumbnail and everything for the new YouTube stream. I hear myself. Hold on. Ah! God damn it. What were we talking about, guys? What were we talking about? First stream. Yeah, we still don't see YouTube chat. Yeah, I can't fix that. Unfortunately, I can, with YouTube chat, I can only set it up before stream, which sucks. Was YouTube chat there previously? It wasn't, right? Yeah, I can only set it up before stream. And if it doesn't pop up, then that's a problem. I haven't really figured out a decent way to kind of pop YouTube. You know what? I'll figure it out over the weekends. I think I can do it via streaming bot. I found a new way to do YouTube chat, hey? Hold on, just changing a few things on the YouTube stream. There we go. Alright, I'm back. Good morning, Imperial Legate on TikTok. How are you doing? You're talking about people have less time because technology is used to distract and people are less bored. Oh, yes! Generally, I do think that if you generally learn to live with your thoughts a little bit better, like if you're bored a little bit more, if you don't distract yourself as much, if you live with yourself and your own mind a little bit more, you can generally learn to have more chances to be at peace with yourself. And I think that's generally true, right? I mean, what you do in your bored time is a different story, of course, but I think when you just bored a lot, you will learn to live with yourself. That's why I think there are some videos out there that I think have been talking about why it's important to be bored. I wanted to make one, but I think it's something that I say so often that I don't even think I should make one. Life was slower and people had less things to distract them. Yeah. We're talking about Assassin's Creed lore. Assassin's Creed? Oh yeah, definitely. A Black Flag. I haven't even finished the first Black Flag. I've played it like 3 times. Now I don't know if I should even continue the old one or wait for the remake. Hi there, Dave Husky. Dave the Husky. There's an interesting thing I learned that I have yet to try out. That is, if you bring more personality to your living space, you have less to think. What do you mean? What do you mean less to think? Bored is kind of a skill issue. It's up to you and your imagination to entertain you. Yeah, I think when we say bored, it's more like you have nothing to do and you learn to do something about that, or you learn to live with that rather than distracting yourself with, say, doom scrolling the easiest way, right? Thank you, Blue Boy. Thank you for liking my model. It gives you a chance to ponder the questions that intrigue you. Yeah. Like, I've always said this, but I think my moments of clarity mostly always happens during downtimes. Like when I'm in a car ride and I'm not on my phone and I'm just looking out, like kind of just letting my kind of just daydreaming, I guess, in a sense. And then usually I get like pretty good inspirations or like pretty good thoughts. Or like when I'm having a shower, like shower thoughts the shower is a good place to get nice thoughts. So that's what I'm saying. Like boredom can bring a lot of good things. Like you learn to live with yourself, number one, which I would like to think helps with some measure of mental tenacity and grit to a certain extent, because you learn how to regulate. I would think have more opportunities to learn how to regulate yourself better and your thoughts better and your feelings as well. And yeah, also gives your mind a chance to wander and maybe make up some good ideas. As someone who spends his near entire day in his head during work, I absolutely struggle to live with myself still. Yeah, I don't know how true like whatever I said was, because I'm only saying it from my personal perspective, and we do know like everyone's minds works differently, so it would be different from person to person. So what I'm saying is definitely just assumptions based on my own personal experiences. Have you ever played Warframe? No, I have not. Love Black Flag in the day. You should consider the old one. Oh my god, but I really hate the ship mechanics. I really do. I thought I hated driving in Cyberpunk, but I hate Black Flag ship driving even more. Like the fighting and everything is fun, but driving the ship drives me crazy, dude. I get good thoughts from jogging. Yeah, that's also another thing, right? Jogging, washing dishes, basically like or maybe going swimming. These sort of quiet moments where you kind of just let your mind roam can really have a lot of good things come out from it. That's what I meant by entertain yourself. Don't do scroll, but find something you want to do or think about. Yeah, but also isn't it so fucking hard? Like when you're given the choice of just grabbing your phone and doom scroll, like it's like instant entertainment, an instant numbing to anything really. Like for example, when you don't feel like facing certain situations, you can just numb yourself with doom scrolling. When you don't feel like dreading over, oh my god, your looming deadline, you can just doom scroll and procrastinate. Doom scrolling is such an instant solution, band-aid solution to a lot of things, and it can be quite bad, at least for me. Like as much as I preach about doom scrolling, I'm someone who doom scrolls a lot still. I mean, I've reduced it quite significantly, sure, but not fully. Because, for example, I was doing work, and you know how sometimes when you're working with like thousands of rows of Excel, you have to wait. So in between that, I doom scroll whilst waiting. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, no, it's totally fine. But also, I'm like, damn, isn't it a fucking skill issue? Isn't it kind of sad that I can't even wait a few seconds for like this Excel to do its thing, and I actually need a fucking distraction? What is good, says the Sea Fox? I think you might be biased. Water? No, sea salt water. Seawater is better, of course. You hate the ship mechanics? That is the most praised aspect. No, I like the ship mechanics. I just don't like the driving of it, and like it feels finicky for some reason to me. Like driving the ship. Both of you to assume or doom scroll when under deadline. I think everyone doom scrolls because it's such an easy, convenient thing nowadays, right? I actually noticed this interesting thing that when I go through a social high from hanging out with friends, I don't feel like doom scrolling and feel so good. Same. I'm someone that when I hang out with a person, I don't even check my phone at all. Yeah, I don't. But it's during these other moments where it's like, it feels like an easy solution to numb yourself with doom scrolling that you usually go to it, right? Especially like when you're a content creator, right? And you make content, you can kind of have this want of... Sorry, give me a sec. You will have this consistent want of wanting to see your growth. Like you you have this expectation of whenever you check one of your platforms, there's going to be an update, like, oh, there's going to be more likes, there's going to be some more new amounts of subscribers and everything like that. And I don't know what is up with that. So it becomes like very tantalizing, I guess, in a sense that when given a moment of pause, that's usually like my go-to thing to check like my platforms, to check social media platforms, or check for updates on growth on my content creation. And I do think personally that it's a bad habit. I'm not saying doom scrolling is like 100% wrong, but I do think that it's good to have better control over it, or it's good to doom scroll less in general. Thank you for the happy affiliate wishes, Patsilog. Thank you. But yeah, it's always a thing that comes up during our talks here, right? The talks of Doomscroll. It happens so often, probably because of the fact that it's just something I tackle or deal with like pretty much every day. Especially, yeah, pretty much every day. I think especially if you live like, you know, the city life in general. Because when you live the city life, can I say that? Well, not really. No. It's just a lifestyle. It's just a lifestyle choice, I guess. I'm gonna drink some water. You know, I haven't yapped in so long. I feel like my yapping tenacity, like my voice, I don't think it has the same amount of tenacity as it used to. I feel like I need so much more water to kind of keep up with the amount of yapping that we have. Sen is here. Hi, Sen. I heard that you broke the curse with your movie nights, hey? By the way, I was so happy to see that the titlings were thriving and you know, active during the time that I was gone on Discord, because you know that's always like the fear of every content creator, right? When they're gone for a tad bit and they might have nothing to come back to, or like people will forget about them and everything. So it's really nice to be able to see you guys still around. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thank you. And even despite the DCs and everything, you guys are still here too. Fuck the DCs. Ugh, I still hate the fact that I'm back and now, and the first thing that happened was like not even disconnect. OBS fucking crashed. Maybe it's also due to the fact that I didn't update my OBS. I shall do that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm also so excited to play Procopia next week. Finally. And we have Procopia, but now we also have Tomodachi Life. It's also out, right? So many games to play, man. I'm so worried. Completed my assignment. SKS only Noira. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Yeah, Tomodachi Life is out, right? I can't wait to include you guys in Tomodachi Life. Do you need Tomodachi Life? Yeah, I haven't bought it. Do you know how many people you can fit into Tomodachi Life? You were saying like a week ago there was nothing on Switch 2, which is true. I mean, technically to me, there's only Procopia and Tomodachi Life. What else is there? I mean, there's not much on the Switch 2, which is why I've debated getting a Switch 2, but you guys made me stop debating over it, because whilst I was debating, I was even thinking of cancelling the Switch 2 funding on Throne midway. and yet you guys made it happen before I could even do that. You guys are crazy. Hello, Waki on TikTok. So thank you, dear Titlings, for funding it. That took me by surprise. But yeah, technically to me, there's only 2 games on the Switch 2. That is Tomodachi Life and Procopia. 2 very good games though, I would think. 2 are very cozy games to play. Tell me about it, right? Pokemon, Metroid, Donkey Kong, 100 Line, probably more. You mean the Winds and Waves Pokemon? That's still like next year, isn't it? Well, I've never played a single Metroid, so I don't know what that's like. Donkey Kong, I played it back in the days. It's okay. I don't know how the new one is. But also, one of the reasons I was thinking against buying a Switch 2 was that the fact that all games are so fucking expensive. Oh my god, do you know how bad the Indonesian currency is right now? You know, $1 is 17,300 rupiah now. 17,300 is like a meal, dude. Literally, you can get lunch. Like a full-on lunch. Yeah, you could get lunch for that, like a full lunch. Like you get rice with like a bunch of other things. Yeah, and the currency is really bad right now in Indonesia. And the fact that with Nintendo Switch everything is in like USD, it's fucking scary, dude. Oh, hello Klein. Thank you. Time to go to Indo? Yeah, you guys can definitely do that. You guys can go splurge in Indo. But yeah, us people living in Indo, it's not a good time, man. Everything's so expensive. I am lucky because of the fact that I wouldn't say make a living, but like I can fund my content creation with the help of you guys in USD. That helps a lot, because if I were to fund everything myself, it's gonna be so fucking expensive. You can speak Indonesian. I am Indonesian, Klein. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your contribution towards the Deep Blue. I really do appreciate it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to push out as much content as I do if it weren't for you guys. I keep on saying this. Or even like, you know, the Minecraft server that we have going on. I have mentioned that it actually takes quite a lot to kind of run that, because it's like $42. And that's a decent amount of money in Indonesian. So thank you guys for helping to fund the community Discord for the titlings as well. Anyway, yeah, Switch games are fucking expensive, man. And in my mind, my logical mind is like, why should I be buying these expensive Switch 2 games when I still have like a crazy Steam backlog? What are the chances of us meeting Noira in Indo by accident? That would not happen. No, I don't think so. Even if it did, you guys wouldn't know. Anyway, why would you guys want to break immersion in the first place, hey? Don't you guys like anime girls staying as anime girls? Why would you guys want to break immersion, hey? Let me use some... Ever since I got back, I've been having really dry skin. I don't know why. Despite Indonesia being a tropical country. And humid as fuck, but like my skin has been fucking dry. Hi there, Ginro. How are you? Can I at least get a signature of yours in my journal? No. No. I don't even have... Should I be making a signature for myself? Like an idol signature? Maybe. But maybe I should. So, no, not until I get that done, maybe, perhaps. If we spoke and one of us were next to you, we would know by your voice. I don't think so. I sound very different when I speak Indonesian. So I don't think you guys would know. Yeah. I don't want you, unless it's Zach. I guess maybe Zach can probably know. If Zach went to Indonesia, he might run into me and he might be like, oh my god, are you Noira? I'd believe that, just because of the fact that Zach has been here a long time, even before I was a VTuber. But anyway, guys, tell me, for the time that I was gone, did you guys have any new life observations? Or any particular, I don't know, life enlightenment? Can I use that term? Or any interesting things that you learned about your day-to-day? I don't have a Jatsel accent, mind you, Crown, I don't. I think it's just a normal thing, right? For people to sound different in different languages. That's me. I sound very different in Japanese as well. It's very weird. I don't know why. I went to a Korean goth concert. What's a Korean goth concert? What? What? Wait, so it's Korean goth music? Is that what it is, Zach? Like, what's a Korean goth concert? If I wanted to recognize your IRL, all I gotta do is ask to borrow your phone. Oh, yeah, no, that wouldn't happen anymore, though. I don't really have my model on my new phone anymore. It's not as much there. I mean, it's not really there. So, I think most people don't even... Generally, people, when they see me, they don't even think I'm a fucking gamer or nerd, man. So, if you try to figure out who I am, I think it'd be quite a hard time. About Greek? I can't speak Greek, unfortunately. Like, they're Korean and they play goth music. Interesting! I swear you go to the most interesting concerts, Zach. Like, at least, like, so far, the concerts that you've been telling us about. It's been interesting. I caught someone trying to test with smart glasses at work. May get a bonus. Does that... Wait, what? Trying to test with smart glasses at work and may get a bonus. Does that count? What? How does that work? Also, I'm someone who doesn't particularly like the idea of smart glasses. Like, I don't think humans need to be that online and that digital all the time. Like, why? It's not as if we need an escape from the beautiful world around us. The world around us can be pretty nice. I don't know why people need such a consistent long hours of screen time. I think I've finally adjusted to a day schedule and learned to adjust not to be stressed out at work that much. That's good to hear. That's good to hear that you stabilized at work. Voices do change between languages. I sound very different when I speak Greek than my English voice. Yeah, and it's something that you can't really explain, right? I think that I think my general speaking voice in Japanese sounds a little bit higher. It's very weird. When I speak Indonesian, it's a mix. Some people have mentioned I sound a pitch higher. Some people mention I sound lower. It really depends on what I'm saying, I guess, and the context. So, I don't know. It's weird. Smartphones have made people dumber. I mean, on the flip side, we can also say that smartphones have made people smarter. Same thing with AI, right? AI can make people dumber, but also it can make people smarter. What quote was it that I brought up last time? But I read somewhere that when given a tool, usually it goes two ways. Usually the smarter will get smarter and the dumber will get dumber. Something along those lines. And I think it is quite true. We don't even need more dumbing down with smart glasses. Yeah, I mean, smart glasses is just another phone. What makes people smarter or dumber with smartphones is mostly like what's in the phone, right? What's in the device. So, will smart glasses make people smarter or dumber? I don't think so. If it has like the same shit as phones, I think it's the same shit. Proctor for work, and I have to check for notes and electronic devices before I let them in the test rooms. I see. And there is a chance I get a bonus because we get one for catching people trying to cheat. Ah, I see. Crazy dystopian world we live in, hey? Smart glasses. Something in life, after resigning on my first job and think of everything, it made me realize that even if I want to stop and the fear is unknown, my body just moved on its own, knowing that I have to move. Even if I want to stop and the fear is unknown. And there is fear of unknown, you mean? Knowing that I have to move. I mean, that's like part of adulting, isn't it? That's actually something I want to So usually every month I make like a list of video essay ideas that I want to make, right? Or maybe possibly want to write on. And one of the things that I made for this month was letting go of perfectionism, because I think that's something I struggled with back then when I was younger. I used to be very idealistic, and I wouldn't say a perfectionist, but I used to have like certain ideals, like things had to happen or things had to be a certain way to be acceptable. And it was only after a few experiences and of course getting older that I realized that there are costs to delaying things and there are costs to not making a decision. And sometimes that it costs more than having the perfect output or outcome. Does that make sense? Like having something imperfect now sometimes is better than having something perfect later. There's a cost to it. So it's the same thing with adulting, I feel like, because we have so many responsibilities as we adult. And a lot of the times, even if we don't feel like moving, we move anyway because we know that it makes more sense to do so. Is my ranting making any sense? I think it said that everyone has different persona for different language. Interesting. That mayhaps be true as well if I think about it. I went to see my parents and found out that when people want grandkids, they are not ready to have them all around all the time, actually. My parents were getting tired of my daughter in first hour every day. Yeah, that's understandable. That's understandable. I think when people want grandkids, they want a change in their life. You know, they want a little shake up in their life because maybe they're getting bored of their current routine. But then once they realize it, they realize a change and the reality maybe isn't as nice as it seems, right? It's like the same thing as having a child sometimes. Like some people have like, they think that a child will definitely change their life for better, and that's not always the case, right? And also, you know, it's like having a pet as well. Like when you have a pet, it's a full-time thing, right? But like when you're playing with other people's pets and you don't have a pet yourself, it's nice because you get to play with them but also not have to go through this responsibility of taking care of him. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Actually, yeah, let me drink. I'm going to be moving to a new apartment soon. Good luck with that. I hope you start packing up not too last minute, hey? I don't think it's about smarter or dumber, but phones definitely made people worse at problem solving, e.g. tutorials. Yeah, but also, damn, what would I do without my phone? Like, I'm someone who grew up with Google, meaning I had a sibling, but he didn't want to teach me shit. He would always say, learn how to Google. So I did. So, oh my God, what would I have become if not for Google? I'm so glad. And even with AI nowadays, AI is a very easy way to find out about things real quick. So nowadays, I actually catch myself being more curious about a lot of things and learning about things a bit more, because nowadays when I'm curious about something, I can actually do a quick AI search to find out about it. For example, what is a recent curious thing that I looked up? Oh, this one I actually Googled. Do you know what my most recent Google search is? Does a bigger dong require more blood flow? That is my most recent Google search. Oh, this is so stupid, but the context is apparently I said something in an edit in a video, like in a VOD. I was like watching that VOD, and I think in that VOD we were talking about having fictional characters having big dongs, and we were also talking about how it can be unrealistic, because what if they have dogs so big that it makes them anemic and they faint from it, or like it makes them dumb because they have no blood going to their brain. And I was trying to fact check that shit, right? And I found out that it's true. The bigger dong you have, the more blood flow it requires. So it makes sense that when someone has a bigger dong, when they have a boner, they might be dumber. Yeah, so that's my latest Google search. But yeah, no, even like when I was in Japan, when I was like quickly looking up about like cultural stuff, like learning about the temples I went to or the places that I went to, it was nice having AI handy to be able to quickly check about these sort of things. It's a joke since your hair is made with blue flames. My hair isn't made with blue flames. Those are my ears. My hair is normal hair. Horny makes men dumb in general. I do want to fact check that too. Like, how true is it that when guys get a boner, because it requires some blood flow to kind of supply the boner, does it take away blood flow from the brain to the point that it reduces your thinking capacity? And that's why post-nut clarity is a thing. Now, how true is that? Have any of you guys actually checked that? Getting done with during boner, isn't it a universal mean thing? Yeah, but like, it's based off of my assumption, right? And my assumption is that it's because you have less blood flow going to your brain and some of it is getting dispersed to your dong. Has issues with blood flow that even can cause some nausea, and some can even go out cold during orgasm. Oh wait, so it's true? Wait, you don't think it's a blood flow thing? Hormonal thing. So you're saying if you're getting like a hormonal spike from getting horny, you will get dumber? Or what if it's both? Check something worse. Intercourse can deprive brain of blood flow, leading to amnesia. Wait, really? Even if you breathe well, it can? Damn. Wait, is that like a purely male fact, or is that like for everyone? Pretty sure it's a saying because it's true. How big is your dog to be? Does your dog have to be for the blood flow to be affected? My assumption is that it's just always like that. It's just an always consistent fact that your dong requires more blood flow, so it sabotages some blood flow from your brain. So it must maybe have an effect to your brain in one way or another, right? Blood flow in the brain is fairly tightly regulated, so I don't know how much the brain... You know what? Shall we look this up? I'm gonna ask AI, and I'm gonna ask AI for its sources, okay? When a male gets a boner, a male human gets a boner, how much is their thinking capabilities affected by the fact that some blood flow is redistributed to the... Do I have to say penis? I guess I have to say penis. Penis instead. Give me academic and scientific sources, scientific references and sources. How do we get here? I don't know. How did we get here? Thank you, Ginro, for the wishes. And hello, Purnima. Welcome back to the Deep Blue. Welcome back. Okay, wait. The idea that a man loses blood to the brain during an erection is one of the most persistent myths in human... Wait, it's a myth in human biology. Well, there is a noticeable shift in thinking capabilities during sexual arousal. It has almost nothing to do with blood volume and everything to do with neurochemistry and regional brain deactivation. Okay, hemodynamic reality. Okay, wait, let me just skim through this. The body utilizes cerebral autoregulation, a highly sophisticated biological mechanism that ensures blood flow to the brain remains constant even when blood pressure fluctuates or blood is diverted to other extremities. Oh, so are you guys using like dumb brain boner as an excuse then? So it's not a real thing? If the blood isn't leaving the brain, why do men often feel distracted or make poor decisions when aroused? The answer lies in fMRI, functional magnetic resonance imaging studies, which show that sexual arousal triggers a shift in which parts of the brain are active. The deactivation of prefrontal cortex is the part where it's a lot about emotional regulation and decision making. The deactivation of the prefrontal cortex. Studies have shown that during high states of sexual arousal, activity in the lateral prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for executive function, logic, and social judgment, actually decreases. The activation of the limbic system, simultaneously the amygdala and hypothalamus, emotional and instinctual centers, become highly active. I see. Interesting. So to give context, apparently a human's prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed until they're 25. So when someone is technically quote unquote immature, it's a lot of the, you can kind of argue that it's partially due to the fact that their prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed just yet. And apparently the prefrontal cortex also develops more slowly with males, apparently, if I'm not mistaken. Or there are like certain slower growths with males when it comes to certain brain areas. I think it was the prefrontal cortex, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I think we can assume that it is fair to say that apparently when you're aroused, you can be more immature in general. Also, the activity in your amygdala and hypothalamus, which is the more instinctual and emotional stuff, emotional maturity shit, becomes highly active. Maybe not emotional maturity, but rather emotions full stop. So your emotions and your instincts can override your decision making and your logic of your prefrontal cortex. So you can generally, TLDR, become more emotional and less mature. In short, you don't run out of blood. Your brain simply switches modes from analytical/rational to instinctual/reward seeking. And the third is cognitive performance studies. A study published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior found that sexual stimuli capture attention more effectively than neural or even other emotional stimuli. The attentional blink makes it harder to focus on complex tasks, not because the brain lacks power, but because the stimulus is being prioritized by the evolutionary hardware. Oh my god, wait. Is this for men or is this for both genders? Like for both the male and female? Both sexes? They're saying that horny stuff is more distracting than anything else. A famous study by Ariely and Lowenstein, 2006, titled The Heat of the Moment, demonstrated that men in a high state of sexual arousal were significantly more likely to indicate a willingness to engage in risky behaviors or subvert their own moral standards than when they were cold. I would think that part of that is, I'm assuming, testosterone is kind of linked with more risky behavior. So maybe that's a hormonal testosterone sort of thing. When arousal is there, maybe testosterone goes kind of spikes a little bit, and that's why you might want to take risks a bit more. Oh, interesting. Today we learned a little bit more about such things, eh? Focus to natural call of breeding. We that primed for breeding? That sounds so weird out of context, I'm sorry. But how, being the state of human that we are right now, with our higher cognitive thinking, civilization, and everything, are we still that wired to our tendencies for breeding? I thought not so much. That was my assumption. I thought that we've just, nature and nurture has just made us in a way where it's not that crazy anymore. Well, have you ever prioritized solving differential equations when horny? I don't think the situation has ever presented itself, no. There was something similar that happened. An untouched civilization is introduced to the internet. They ended up addicted to porn. I think porn is like a dopamine hack as well. I think it's as bad as like drugs and addictive shit, isn't it? The amount of dopamine that you get from it, right? According to studies. Suddenly sex sells argument has a solid founding. You're right. Oh my god, that research that said that wait, let me check this attention capture thing. For the archives or for the archives of study, was it exclusively for men? Yeah, that makes sense why sex sells, you're right. If sexual related stuff does scientifically in a study distract people more, it makes sense. Well, let's see. I'm currently asking the AI whether that study was specifically like a male thing or a female thing. The study from archives of sexual behavior, most frequently cited regarding attention capture of sexual stimuli, was not exclusively for men. I see. The effect was found in both men and women, though the degree of interference was more closely tied to the individual's level of sexual desire than to their gender. Interesting. Okay. So, sexual desire, does that mean like how horny a person is in general? If they're generally more horny, they will be more distracted to sexual stuff. That makes sense. Yeah. So it's not that everyone's gotta think that sex sells. It's like it's mostly that it really depends on their sexual tendency levels. Hi there, BONG. Sorry, we were just like going into some deep dive shit about how did we arrive at this topic? About it initially started with the hypothesis that the reason that sometimes post-nut clarity is a thing, or when a guy has a boner, they might get dumber is a thing, is because it takes the blood flow from the brain into the boner. It started from that hypothesis, and now we're having this whole discussion based off of studies about just general shit around it, related stuff around it. It found that, okay, there's another major study in this journal utilized eye tracking on 18 men and 18 women. It found that both genders automatically prioritize biological stimuli, like nude bodies, over neutral stimuli, clothed bodies. The study found that nude figures trigger an attentional blink, a brief lapse in processing other information for both sexes. So I guess it is an evolutionary thing. I guess. But if it was an evolutionary thing, then why would clothes matter? Is it instinctual? This is interesting, actually. This is interesting. I guess, okay. We were cold? No, I would assume that people back then, when we were more, less civilized, I would assume everyone was naked, right? So why would it be that nude bodies capture attention so much? Hi there, baked potato. You saw me from YouTube? Hi! Thank you for checking me out on on TikTok as well. Clothes are only survival and a social thing. True, true, true. But why? I'm trying to make... I have a thought in my mind, but also I don't think it makes sense either. What I'm saying is that if it was an evolutionary thing, you would think that evolutionary things would be fucking used to nude bodies. Do you get what I mean? And thus, why does it attract so much attention still? Or why is it such a trigger still? If it's like, because we see animals in the wild, they don't have fucking clothes, right? But then wouldn't it be that looking at a nude body, for example, if this study was done on animals, it'd just be the same thing as looking at an animal with clothes. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say is, nude would have been the norm if it was an evolutionary thing. That's what I'm trying to say. So why is it triggering a special effect? Why is it triggering a special response? Back in the Ice Age, if you were naked, you were dead. I mean, yeah, for sure. But that's interesting, because I reckon if you replicated this on any other animal, I don't think it would fucking matter if they were nude, because everyone's nude anyway, right? While both genders are captured by sexual stimuli, a key difference often reported in this journal is category specificity. For example, also including both men and women, found that men's attention is captured almost exclusively by their preferred gender, whereas women's attention is often captured by both male and female stimuli. Ah! That's also very interesting. That's why I always turn around regardless if it's a guy or a girl or a lady, as long as they look attractive. So it's interesting. So this study is saying, a study in 2016 is saying that when it comes to guys, their attention is captured almost exclusively by their preferred sexual preference, preferred gender, whereas for women it's anything. Dot Hacker, thank you for becoming a member on YouTube side. Guys, can we get a very warm welcome please for our newest member, Dot Hacker on YouTube? Sorry that you came in and I'm talking about these sort of things. I'm currently driven by curiosity. I unpacked a can of worms. It could be a cultural thing about everyone needing clothes anyway. I think we are ignoring sentience here. In what way? I think it's just an old biological thing from caveman times to encourage mating. I'd assume evolutionarily you'd want to do a quick check for desirable sex traits. Oh, that's fair. Like, oh, hips wide, good birth mechanics sort of shit. Perhaps. That makes sense. I personally think that as well ended up evolving into societies. We adjusted our brains to get used to clothes. So when we see someone nude, it triggers a bigger reaction. That too. Welcome, Dot Hacker. Sorry that YouTube chat isn't on screen at all. Actually, is any chat on screen? Wait, Twitch chat still appears, right? Anyway, interesting stuff, guys. Interesting little deep dive that we had going on. Did I scare off some people with that whole talk? But yeah. Thank you for the hydrate. I'll drink some water. It's more a learned thing from culture. I think when you compare it to tribes that still wear close to nothing, they probably will have a different response. Yeah, I think so too. Interesting. I'm kind of wishing that they will replicate that on you know, a different culture, like a culture that's more acceptable of people being more nude. And I want to see how that results in. The way that it's not good to be horny 100% of the time. Social species regulate themselves somehow. Maybe that's why clothes mattered. I was actually having this thought as well, right? This is not really related to this whole topic that we're going off of. But I was thinking as to... I noticed that some VTubers prefer to... Wait, okay. How can I say this? Let me think. I just think that there's no judgment when I say this. It's not like judgment. It's not charged with judgment or anything. But it's a very interesting observation to me that content creators or people who become content creators can be so different. This is mostly like a human thing, I think. Like, for example, I can see a VTuber or a friend of mine who very much enjoys expressing their sexuality on stream or being sexually attractive on stream or as they become a content creator. And I see some others who don't fucking care about that and just want to use a fucking, I don't know, blob or something to stream, like something that's just totally not something you'd sexualize. And then me too, like me as well, like I'm someone who prefers that if people watch my stream, they stay for the things that I talk about and the discussions that we have and the vibes that we have. Isn't it so interesting how different humans can be? So interesting how different people can be from each other, despite everyone using the same medium, which is like VTubing, but everyone can have like such different ways of doing it and have such different priorities. Anyway, it's going nowhere in particular, but that was like my thought of the day because I was recently checking out a friend's feed on Twitter, and this one friend of mine has been consistently always interested in being sexy, which is nothing wrong with it, but I found it very interesting and curious. Yeah, so I was just having that thought, just how different everyone can be. Yeah. Because in my mind, I'm like, why? I wonder why she's like that. But also at the same time, you realize that it doesn't fucking matter. Wait, where did I leave chat? Leave off chat. There has to be some really base fear going on that takes priority. Which one are you talking about there? Or should we have a bunch of different internal variables? Yeah, like how like people's horniness can be different from a person to person, right? And I do know like some people also enjoy like being sexy, but also don't want to be sexualized. As ironic as that sounds, I think that is true and valid. But in execution, it's a totally different thing. But I know, for example, yeah, I do think like one of my hypotheses or like one of my thoughts or theories is that one of the reasons some people like being so flaunting their sexiness or like flaunting their flirtiness a lot as a content creator in general I think maybe a part of it might be coming from a place where, okay, I never really got the experience of being attractive or sexually attractive or being able to act this way in real life. And thus now that I am a content creator on the internet or I'm an anonymous creator or VTuber on the internet, now that I have the chance to, I want to know what that's like. I feel like part of that is coming from that rather than so it's wanting to know what that experience and that attention is like rather than them being fully horny. But anyway, every once in a while I'm someone who has a lot of these sort of thoughts, right? When I see a certain behavior or observation, I really like coming up with, I think, perspectives that could kind of, I wouldn't say validate, but like perspectives that could kind of at least like, I think, give myself a little bit of insight as to that person's way of thinking, even though it doesn't really matter. Anyway, sorry about that really random ass tangent. I just figured I just wanted to share about my thoughts of the day. I have weird ass thoughts when I'm scrolling through Twitter, man. Oh no, I'm out of water. Let me get some water. BRB. We still have like about how long? My math is not mathing. 40-ish minutes? Yeah, 40 minutes. So we're good. I'll BRB. Let me get some water, okay? Be right back. ちょっと待ってよ. We're back. You have no time to riot. You don't even have an opportunity to do that because I'm back already. I'm a god like that, okay? Great. Learning how someone else thinks and feel helps bring understanding which brings togetherness, right? And yeah, definitely, because I think people are a lot more nuanced than we think, which brings me back to the topic that we were talking about earlier about like how, at least the topic that I brought up, which is the fact that for some reason people always kind of assume that everyone has a perfect opinion or everyone is either black or white, when in reality like a lot of things are very nuanced and gray. And I think that's where a degree of maturity comes from, right? It's understanding that everyone can be so nuanced and so different. And I think when you're younger, you're naive. That's naivety, right? Thinking that everything black and white is naivety. But I do still see a lot of adults who think that way. I don't know. It's nature, nurture, and also maybe media influence as well. Like, I think I used to be very naive in a way that I think that, oh, love has to be a certain way. Like, I see shit in Disney movies, and thus I assume that's how love is. It has to be a certain way. Love has to be exciting because that's what I see on media, right? And it takes certain life experiences and meeting the right people and having the right discussions to be able to understand that life experiences, opinions, and people can be so much more nuanced than that. And it's okay if they don't fall under black or white or a certain category. And it's okay if they don't have an opinion towards a certain something. It's why nowadays I think since then I could be like, I don't think I have a decent opinion on that, or I can say such things, you know, compared to back then where I would panic if I didn't say the right thing and I would overthink and I would just stress, or like I would always try to say the right thing and be more of a people pleaser. Yeah. Or like be not politically, but like societally correct back then. Hi there, Izanagi. Lots of the things still the same way, a lot. Yeah. And I would think that a lot of people think in black and whites because media. I do think that the biggest player of it is media. Because media always makes it black or white because it's the easiest story to tell, right? And also sensationalism. And thus, can you really blame people who see media and consume media to think that to think in such terms or in such frameworks or ways that it's like extreme? Like it's either you're with us or against us, or it's either black or white. If you're somewhere in the middle, then you suck. Once you learn it's not all black and white, you can learn to see all the colors the world has to offer and how beautiful it can be. Very true. Very true. Media plays a big part today. We are more isolated than ever. Media is too catered to one's interest, and that can be hurtful. That is true. Like the algorithm. That's interesting. I never thought about it that way. Can the algorithm catering towards a person's preferences be a bad thing? Yes, because it increases the stickiness of things. And also, maybe to a certain sense, it creates its own vacuum. Right? It makes its own, like you'll be more surrounded by the things that are relevant to you, and thus you don't get the other side of things. For example, if you like making drama out of certain things, that you will see a lot more stuff from that drama, and then you don't see the other side of the world that doesn't give a shit about it. Fair point. Now we have a time check. Sleep is important. Yeah, we still have 30 minutes. We're good. Media can end up teaching us the wrong things. Real life experiences can be the real learner. That is true, but also the thing is, media is giving us less reasons to go for real life experiences, or at least like what I'm observing. And another thing that I think I saw a comment on Twitter saying under my post, which was kind of related to this, was that he said that he doesn't think that the world around us is being more performative, because if you go outside, you'll see that people are just people. But I do think that at least like the people I see outside are being more performative, but it might be more of a cultural thing. Maybe it just so happens that I live in a city where a lot of people do it for the gram, in that sort of sense. But what he said is also true, with the fact that if you go outside and you go outside of your circle or your echo chamber, I don't know why I always say echo chamber. And you go outside your echo chamber, you will come to see that a lot of people are very different to what you think are online or what's served to you by the algorithm. You'll see that, as the guy says, people are still just people. This was my thought when I went to New Zealand, which is a place that's like very nature, a lot of livestock, and not as much infrastructure, right? You don't really get much skyscrapers and shit. Same thing when I went to Aomori, which you don't really have that much skyscrapers and everything. It was just fields and plains of trees and crops and nature. You'll see that life, those people are very much different to the people that you assume are of the internet. Or like the people you see in certain parts of metropolitans. Very different. Honestly, modern media have a very warped view of love. Read Wuthering Heights and warp it the other way. Is Wuthering Heights good? That's the new movie with Margot Robbie and the guy, right? I know it's from a book. Is the book good? I feel like this extreme of views is also related to contemporary ethics, but I don't have proofs. Even if I did, I would not share. Contemporary ethics in what sort of way, you reckon? Like, not just what you think. Societal and cultural thing. Hi there, Izanagi. Oh, sorry, I already said hi to you. Yeah, no worries, Izanagi. Like I always mentioned. I always encourage you guys to have the right balance of priorities. And that also means that if you guys can be going out there and doing some things better that can affect your life for the better in the grander scheme of things, rather than watching me on stream, then go do that, babe. I'm all for that. I believe in the same thing. Like, I do think that in the grander scheme of things, watching Netflix, watching VTubers, these temporary entertainment, social media, doom scrolling, gaming, these are temporary measures to keep yourself entertained. But they might not have a decent impact on the grander scheme of things, depending on how you want your life to go. So do that thing. Don't feel bad for not being able to tune into stream, okay? If I have a drop in viewers, that doesn't say anything about you. That just says something about me. Like, maybe it's skill issues on my side, and it is what it is. So don't worry about it, hey? I personally think that it creates a bubble. You'll never really challenge on your worldview, especially with how AI responds. Oh yeah, the sycophancy of AIs. Yeah, that echo chamber is ever so more rampant, isn't it? Especially with AI. I've come to become very sick of AI, actually. I have literally criticized my AI. I've been saying certain things like, wait, are you actually just entertaining me and just agreeing with me? Like, can you just give me the real shit? Like, I've told my AI to not bullshit me, but it still does, and I hate it. So every once in a while, I gotta like confront it and be like, yo, come on, be for fucking real. Don't just like make shit up to make me happy, dude. So that sycophancy, that echo chamber thing is very real. People have different ideas of what social contract entails. I think it depends on the personality. Some people want to be seen as something they're not, or what they want to be. Some people don't care what you think of him. It's very apparent when you go from country to country. Like the West view it as something you shouldn't show anyone, your body, but in other countries, more people are comfortable with being nude in front of others, like in benches or saunas in such place. Oh, definitely. The cultural difference, right? That's why traveling, I think, if you have the means to, traveling can be so important. like going on temporary travels or even like living in a different country for a decent amount of time, it can be such a life-changing experience, you know? Because yeah, there can be growth and change. Yeah. You get to see like different cultures and how different people can be, and you can add that into your perspective, and you can use that to kind of help you make new thoughts and new ideas of how maybe you should want to improve moving forward. If you see something nice from a different culture, maybe you want to add that into your own vocabulary. You will have the means to do so, but how can you do that if you don't have the ideas for a vocabulary in the first place? Like you need to travel to find the contents of a dictionary, if that makes sense. The book is very good, however, it was never properly translated into a movie. It might never be done. Wait, so the recent one with Margot Robbie wasn't a good adaptation, Ceaseless? Instantly went off stream when I got an email reply from my archive. Thanks for the reassurance, Noira. Of course, of course. It's totally fine. Hi there, Night Shadowblade. Yes, I am back. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, I'll drink some water. I only took a sip just now. You know, I updated my milestones recently on Discord. Like every end of month, I do update my milestones to show you guys, like, as a community, as the Deep Blue, how much we've grown and everything like that, so you guys can know where your support is going. And I've been pretty proud of myself lately, just because of like the general growth that has been happening, and the fact that I can be more consistent and sustainable in the way that I do content. Back then, I think when I did content, when I published videos on Shorts or like YouTube, I would always last minute it, but like I've made so much progress in being able to manage it in a way where I can have it done early and then I can schedule it. So I'm so happy, and that has resulted in me still getting like follows and people subscribing and everything on YouTube, even when I'm not online, and that makes me very happy. And because of that, we're having, I think, at least a faster growth on YouTube. I can't say much for Twitch because Twitch is like one of those things where it only matters when you're live, right? But I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I've learned so much from content creation and streaming in general, and I'm learning because I'm always trying to figure out better ways to do it. I get to also like find better ways to apply certain things in my day-to-day. Like the way that I managed to figure out how to do my content this way has helped me with managing and figuring out my procrastination tendencies in my day-to-day as well. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Q2, man. I'm so excited for this year in general. Didn't know you took a break, as these few months have been busy with college. No worries. Went to a bookstore called Kinokuniya. Ah, yeah. Kinokuniya, the Japanese bookstore. I used to always love going there. There's something nice about you're right, there's something nice about the vibes at Kinokuniya, hey? Some of the goals are pretty close to you, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we had like a 2026 view goal. I think it's like 400k views in 2026. And the fact that we've achieved like up to 30% already is wild. I did not expect that. It's crazy. And also concurrent viewership on Twitch was like at a pretty decent high before I left for a break. I think it was like at 49 and my goal was 50. So very close. Very close, but like I'm kind of assuming that because I was on a break for a tad bit, it would make sense for the numbers to kind of drop a tad now that I'm back, and it will maybe stabilize a little bit better again once I start streaming more regularly again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Correct, no adaptation, previous or modern. Portray the characters and the narrative fully. I will check the books. I will check the books. Congratulations, you're awesome. So I hope your channel grows more and more. Oh, thank you, Thank you. Wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure that whatever you guys chuck into the deep blue, like everything that you guys throw over to the shrine, I'm gonna make it worthwhile, okay? I'm gonna show you guys growth, at least, or try to, at least. I can't guarantee growth, but I will at least try to, I will guarantee consistency, at least. Just modern global ethics. I mean, there are a lot of good stuff, like it is normalized to treat women as equal. But at the same time, ethic now is extended to every culture and even past. Like people hate church for being racist or vandalize memorials of explorers without even trying to put it into historical context when it was just a norm. So it is kind of modern. So it is kind of, if modern ethical values are good, everyone should be a follower or outcast, no in between. Interesting, yes. Yeah, that is interesting. That is a very interesting topic. Like some of the things that were done back then, some of the things that were done back then are like being judged now in modern times when honestly it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make the action right? No. But also, I don't know. It's this is one of the topics that's actually discussed in Darwin incident. Jason, thank you for your offering towards the shrine. Thank you. So glad to have the yaps back. I'm so glad to be back here. I'm so glad to be back here. Thank you. Let me give you a blessing, Jason. I hope that you get a full streak for our next challenge. That is my blessing to you, Jason. So in Darwin incident, there's this one moment that made me think, right? This guy was trying to convince this other guy that justice is relative. Meaning, justice is relative. So if you, for example, if you, oh my god, how can I put this in a non-crazy way? Let's say you stone people, like witches, right? Stoning witches back then might have been normal. But can you, if you want to change that, can you really do it without sacrifices? And that sacrifice such as maybe, I don't know, being able to put up the resistance towards it or to change that regime and stuff like that, is that sacrifice might not look like justice when it's done during that time, but in the future when the change happens, you will see that it is righteous and it's justice. So it's saying that justice is relative. What doesn't look like justice now and just looks like violence now perhaps could be justice in the future when the acts of wrong is made right. And that fucking made me think, dude. Anyway, watch Darwin incident. I don't even know if I can make like I don't even know if I have a decisive opinion on that, because technically, logically, it does make sense. Like certain things that you do for the sake of certain rights or justices does not seem like justice during whenever that's done. It might just seem like pure violence or pure chaos. But once it becomes the right thing to do, it's dubbed differently. I don't know if I'm explaining it well. But what do I think about it? I don't even know what I think about it. It was one of those thought-provoking things that I haven't even wrapped my head around. Speaking of funds, there's your desired vacuum for which I haven't had a chance to budget yet. My client has been keeping me busy the past while. Hoping things will calm down soon. I don't know if I still want that vacuum robot. I've been thinking about it. Basically, people apply retroactively modern ethics to people who did not know it. Yeah. I don't think... It's like, I think the easiest way to put it is... when the norm back then was to make like jokes like haha gay, or like make gay jokes and everything without much thought to it. But nowadays, you would be fucking vilified for it. For good reason. I'm saying it's valid, right? I'm not saying it's... No, they shouldn't they shouldn't be vilifying such things. No, it makes sense why they wouldn't like it nowadays, and it makes sense why, out of respect for certain peoples, it's good to not say that. I find it valid and it's acceptable, and it's a small change. It's a small habit that you can easily change for the better of everyone else's comfort. So it doesn't make sense to not make the change. However, do I think that it's wrong to judge the people or vilify the people who did it back then when it was the acceptable norm? I mean, rather than vilify, I think it's more like understanding that they did not know any better, sort of thing, right? Can you blame them? No. But also, like, is it good? No. I mean, it doesn't justify it, but you can't really blame them. I don't know. What do you call that stance? Acceptance? The history is written... It's relative to the times of collective thinking of a people. The history is written by those who win. So yeah, it makes sense. What we see as good and bad now has always be relative. Yeah, that was one of the thoughts that was talked about in a Darwin incident. That being said, there are some evils that could have been abolished earlier. Have you heard the tale of Aeolipile? No, I have not. What is that? Love can protect and pulverize at the same time. Probably the same thing with justice. There's actually a webtoon I read a while ago that talks about something similar to that, how justice can easily be flipped in views and values towards each other. Everyone has different version of justice. We could agree that something is right or wrong, but the outcome is often a debatable topic. I believe it's called presentism, judging the past by a moral ethical standard of the present. Yeah, product of their time. I think for me, at least, the way that I perceive it, like when people did something wrong back then, but it was like the norm, it's more like an acceptance sort of thing. And it's not as if you vilifying now is going to change anything. They're probably, you know, it's one of those things where you just kind of draw a boundary on. Like, you know how I mentioned, I mentioned from time to time, even though I'm not particularly well versed in Buddhism, and the max extent that I know about Buddhism is from my ex, who eventually became a Buddhist monk, is that one of the things you don't think about in Buddhism is you don't think too much about the universe because it will drive you insane. So for me, there are just certain things, for example, this, where I just draw the boundary where I don't try too hard to make a perfect opinion of it or a perfect thought about it, because it doesn't even matter. You know, like if this guy did this wrong back then and maybe he's dead, like why would you be so stuck up in proving that he's a fucking villain? You know, it's just these things that it comes back to the things that are within your control and not within your control. And it's, I don't know, what do you call it? Utility trade-off? It's, yeah, that's one of the things I always consider when it comes to how much I want to invest time into forming an opinion of something. Right and wrong, along with justice, is hard to quantify because each culture has different values. Very true. I think there are some universal wrongs, but each culture and upbringing is different. I think in the book Sapiens, I think it was Sapiens if I'm not mistaken, they brought about this argument about culture as well, about how murder is bad, but also in a certain culture, like a nomadic tribe back then, they basically left their elderly and sick to die because they did not have the resources. Because they were a nomadic tribe, they had to do that. If not, they could not move on or something. They had to do it for survival's sake, and it was a norm for them. So in that sense, can you really, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, is it right or wrong? It's two different cultures and two different ways of living. Hi there, Locks on TikTok. What's up? Interesting stuff. But it's always like I think very important to, when thinking about these things, like to avoid yourself from going insane, to draw the boundaries, like I mentioned before. Some things are very interesting to think of, but also just be sure you don't get driven into madness. Aeolipile, the heron's engine, was an ancient Greek invention, essentially a steam engine. Allegedly, some version of it was presented to the king as an innovation to improve labor. I see. Considering the revolution this steam engine brought, we could have been living on the moon had they fucking adopted it back then. Ah! Oh, wait, so was the issue back then was like it wasn't perceived as the right thing to do and thus it was not accepted as technological advancement? Thank you for the hydrator, samurai. I shall drink. Have a good one, John. Thanks for dropping by. Hi there, Ronaldo. I mean, but, you know, as much as we can say these things, I think wisdom is also being able to realize that you live in a society. Full stop. We might think certain things, but we live in a society and humans are communal, social creatures. And thus, even if you might think certain things like these and you might disagree with the majority of people, you need to learn to live with people, right? So being wise is being able to balance having your own thoughts and these sort of things, but also being able to live with the fact that you live with other people. And that means that sometimes your ideas and your ways may not be the most popular one, and you gotta learn to live with that. Not even that, they just didn't know what to do with them. Damn. That's crazy. Imagine if it was actually implemented, hey? We live in... Wait, is that something Joker says? We live in a society? I don't even know. I just say it because I think it's the easiest way to describe, you know, that we live in a society. I mean, what better way is there to describe it, right? But yeah, the topic of the observation of the modern society, it's an interesting thing to look at, right? And it's very interesting to see that in an anime for sure. That's why I'm recommending you guys to watch the Darwin Incident. What's crazy is that that anime gets like apparently pretty shitty reviews. The ratings for it isn't that great, and I'm not sure why. It's such an intriguing anime. I already finished the whole season, so I can't wait to check into the next one or like read it. Maybe I'll just read the manga if I can't wait. It's interesting because it's like a Japanese author's observation about American society in a way. Yeah, but also you can see some truth to it. Like it's not like pure imagination, like you could see some truth to it. How could you not know he says this? I don't know. All I know he says, the only Joker thing that I remember is why so serious, and that's it. It kind of goes along with personal morals. You want to live by them, but other people not following your rules doesn't take away from you. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so there's wisdom in, of course, being able to think for yourself and having certain opinions for yourself, even though it might not be popular with other people, and living with that fact. And definitely, like you said, Kurt, I think there's also value in having your own morals, your own values, your own principles, living by them, and other people not liking them shouldn't take away from you. But remember to also be humble. Be a humble bitch, man. Because if you don't, you might accidentally become a narcissist, or you might become a villain with a little bit too big of a head who won't take feedback, and then people will not like you. That's always a balancing act when it comes to becoming a decent person, right? A decent human. And the balancing act of you should have a certain sense of confidence and security, but at the same time you should also have a certain sense of humility. And unfortunately, it's not something that books or like talking to people can help you figure out. It's something that you got to just figure out through your own personal experiences. Being human is hard, man. It's hard. Sometimes I think like, I think of ants, right? And I'm like, oh, they have like such good structure. I wonder how nice it must be to not have to live with these complexities of society and living amongst humans and everything like that. Oh, no, you weren't coming off that way, Kurt. You weren't. I was just adding to it. Don't worry. I know you always come from a wholesome place, Kurt. Hey Jada, yes I am back. I am back, and you guys better remember that I'm back, because next week we will be streaming some Pacopia. We will be streaming some, I don't know about Tomodachi Life, I haven't bought it, but there's also like this new game I've been wanting to play, which just came out today. It's called Inkombini. So it's basically a supermarket simulator, but it's a Japanese konbini and it's cozy as fuck. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. So maybe we'll play that and Pacopia next week on top of our regular yapping stream. So some people don't understand why they shouldn't throw a life ring at ducks. Thank you, Water Munes. Am I saying it right? Sayang, why are you saying Sayang, dude? Thank you for the affiliate wish. Thank you. Kurt is goated. Yeah, we all love Kurt, don't we? 2 of my kitties are sleeping on my bed. That is awesome. Cute ass kitties. Thought you were gonna say Pragmata? Bro, what? It's crazy. I've never really been a Kojima fan. Not because I don't like him, no. But rather more like I've never really played games by him. Like Metal Gear Solid. I never really played much Konami. Let's just put it that way. Metal Gear Solid and what else? Death Stranding, all these things. I never really played it. And then suddenly I see Pragmata and there's so much hype around it and I'm like, what is this game? Is the game good? How is it? Where is it available? Like, is it on Steam? Is it on PS5? Capcom? Oh shit, wait. I thought it was a Kojima thing. It's not? Oh well. My gaming knowledge sucks. So, I assumed it was a Kojima production for some reason. Pretty decent? How much is it? Every time there's a new game, I look at my backlog and I'm like, should I try to guilt trip myself to not buying a new game. I hear it's good. I see everyone playing it. Just like how I see everyone playing NTE right now. I can never pronounce the game. Never to Everness or something. Capcom has managed to make a dad sim, mom sim, and an unc sim. Oh, that's cute. That sounds super cute, actually. How many hours does it require? Neverness to Everness. Yeah, whatever that means. Yesterday I popped Twitch on, and I saw everyone playing that, and I'm like, what is that game even? I feel like I'm so behind on game updates nowadays. Like, the only thing I only know about games mostly from you guys. 779k for regular. So expensive. AAA game. It is what it is, right? I'll think about it. After leaving Konami, Kojima adapted the strategy of crack-based creative process. Every game is a fever dream he has aftermath. I heard that Death Stranding is quite an experience. I've also heard that it's a walking simulator. You may like NTE, Noira, the story is freaking adorable and funny. Maybe. I mean, I've honestly kind of given up on gacha games because I noticed that I play it like once or twice and then I always drop it. Plus, I still have so many games that you guys have funded for and I haven't played. By the way, I feel so bad. Oh my lord. Do you see the privilege that we have nowadays? We have the means to have a backlog of games that we can never really end up finishing. We are so spoiled for choice. We are so spoiled for entertainment. Oh my god, if like ancient Rome people saw us nowadays, imagine all the nasty things they'd say to us. I mean, they had pretty entertaining shit back then too, like the fucking Colosseum and shit and everything. But I'm pretty sure like Clay Obscure is more entertaining than that. I don't know. But we are so spoiled for choices nowadays, aren't we? Lil Brown, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Yeah, so many games. So many games. Hold on, sorry. I need to fix my headset. My headset recently has been peeling. Like, the leather of it, the synthetic leather, I think it's synthetic, has been peeling, and like the headset cup, and that part of the ear cup, what do you call it, has been peeling. Do you guys know how to fix it? Or like, is it even fixable? I don't know what to do with it. That on top of my mouse, like ghosting and double clicking. I need to bring it to the service center too. Have a good one, Night Shadow. Too many games, not enough time or funds. Right now, if only someone can create a vacuum in which it can also pause time for a tad bit so that we may game more. I feel like big corpos might want to fund that because it'd increase like employee productivity if we find a way to find a means to pause time for a little bit. Because it's like, okay, 24/7 shift. Damn. Because you can kind of just pause time to let your employees rest. Yeah, if only there was a way to do that, right? That's why I use faux leather. I use the velvet and suede. I like to think our ancestors would caution us against excess, but would otherwise be happy that we can have the luxury of something like an entertainment backlog in our society. Yeah. Do you think us having such an excess of entertainment nowadays is a bad thing? Do you reckon? I've started another crazy project in the Minecraft server. You're wild. The husband is slowly converting her to becoming a gamer. I mean, I'm not saying that Tetris is not gaming, but I like that she's going deeper into the rabbit hole of gaming. It's less noise cancelling, but I don't have to concern with it peeling off. Oh, fair. The thing is, like, I need to have my headset fully noise cancelling, or like fully like clasping to my head, the sides of my head, because if not, my voice will leak over to my mic, which we can't have. We can't be having that when we're a content creator, right? Did the stream crash? The stream's fine on my side. Did it crash? Wait, you guys are scaring me. Is it only YouTube side? Let me check. No, it's fine. Oh, you scared me. Oh my lord. Is it fine on YouTube? It paused for a bit. That means it was a YouTube thing, not me. Stream froze, but it was my internet dying. Ah. I don't think excess entertainment is always bad. Just depends on its nature. I think that excess entertainment gives more options to be bad, just as how too much of a bad thing can make too much of a good thing, or too much of anything can give higher opportunities for people to do bad things or become bad or worse, whatever it is. But I do think that now that we have excess entertainment, we should have like more knowledge as a society as to how to navigate it, right? Like the fact that I mentioned previously, like it's easy to numb yourself with like games and doom scrolling, right? And I don't think that's particularly good. So I do think like gaming, doom scrolling and everything like that, the things that can numb you or your brain or provide that level of entertainment that you forget about everything else and gives you a sense of escapism, it's good if it's used for if it's not exploited. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. So my hypothesis is that it could be better in our society if we had more education towards managing our time and our life with our current levels of excess entertainment. Not for productivity or shit, but more so for like day-to-day life and balancing and just life fulfillment, I guess. Mental health, maybe, perhaps. Yeah, that's what I think. Because I think that if you kind of escapism too much, it can definitely be a bad thing, right? Frozen for 15 seconds-ish. Damn. Anyway, we gotta call it because I still have so much to do still tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow is a holiday for me, but I still have so much content stuff to catch up on. It's crazy the amounts of work that I come back to after a holiday. I didn't expect it to be that bad. But yeah, I look forward to a video essay and more content and uploads, guys. And I'm so happy once again to be back. And thank you for sticking with me, even though I DC'd and everything like that. Hey, I really do appreciate it. If it negatively affects your life, then it's disorderly. Yeah, thank you guys. Okay, now let's call it there. Thank you everyone who dropped an offering at the shrine. I really do appreciate it. If you guys like the stream, I'd appreciate it if you drop a follow if you're on Twitch, or subscribe if you're on YouTube. Once again, I'm so sorry about all the scuffs that happened today. That's my bad. I didn't thoroughly double check everything. Hopefully next week will be so much better, and hopefully we can work towards our milestones better now that we're back to the Deep Blue. If you're new here, hi, I'm Noira, the Sea Fox oneesan who serves life talks on the rocks. We talk a lot about life and hypotheticals and thought-provoking shit in general because it's fun. And if you want to find out more about me, you can at noira.me. That's my website. And I stream 3 times a week. That's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Same time, same days every week. That's at 6 or 9 a.m. if you're in the US, 3 or 4 p.m. if you're in the EU, and that's about at 10 p.m. GMT plus 8 if you're in Southeast Asia. And if you haven't already, do come in and join into the Discord. The Discord is where the other titlings hang out, and you can also get notifications for my content if you like to choose to do so, like my uploads, or also join in on our activities such as our reading challenge that we're about to start, or try out the push-up challenge or whatsoever. Basically, it's a pretty cool community. If that sounds like your kind of thing, do come in and join at discord.gg/Noira. Anyway, yeah, thank you everyone. Once again, thank you so much for welcoming me back and being there at the Deep Blue, waiting so patiently despite the long vacation. And I'll catch you guys next week for some Pokopia. I'm so excited. Alright, let me find someone to raid. Who do we raid today? Let's raid into... Oh my god, Anora is playing Tomodachi Life. Let's raid into Anora. Oh wait, that's someone's stream. Hold on. Sorry. Raid Anora V2. Anora's playing Tomodachi Life! Oh, I too can't wait till the time I get to play some Tomodachi Life. Alright guys. See ya! And I'll catch you on the flip side, dear tidelings. Bye! Sayonara.